are you, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. I mean, we met briefly 4 years ago, I think, at Smalls.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. It was a late session with El Salem.
Oh, yeah.
We were playing, I think, in the house band, and
Yeah.
I was there for a few days for one gig, and I we met briefly, but I know you. I first heard your name back in 2012.
2012. Where?
We have a really we have a mutual friend who is a good friend of mine and great musician, Saha, in our band.
Yeah. Of course.
When it started with drums for you, it was really early? Or...
So I started at the age of probably 2 or 3 because my dad is a drummer. So
Oh,
I remember there are some videos and photos of them just like putting me on the chair and my legs wouldn't reach the ground. I would just play with my hands. And around the age of 5 or 6, I started. I reached the bass drum pedal for the first time, so
oh,
I
nice.
had to kind of close the gap between the hands and the legs, you know.
When did you move in New York?
When did I move? On January 2016. So it means about 4.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I've been a lot in and out a lot since I moved, especially in the last 2 years. But officially 4.5 years ago.
Oh, uh, how was that experience? I mean, getting in the center of jazz music, like, how was it?
Yeah, I can tell you that what I've heard before I moved to New York from some friends that lived there before me. They told me, first of all, it's a shock, a certain shock for each one takes it in a different way. But a good friend of mine told me you will discover the drums again.
Yeah.
And I expected to come there, and I expected to lower my ego, although I'm not a person with an ego, a big ego, I think, but I I had some kind of status here in Israel, and I did a lot of gigs and stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm moving there, and I know it's gonna be hard, and I know nobody's gonna know who I am, and there are drummers that are much better than me, and everything. So I
Mhm.
had it in my mind. Uh, in the meantime, as well, I had a strong belief that I could make it, but still, I didn't know what to expect. And then when I moved, it's a process. There is some progress you do in the city, but I really feel that I discovered a lot about uh, the drums, first of all, about the music, the jazz music in particular, but music in general, and also about musicianship, professionality.
Mhm.
That's how you say that. You see all kind of creatures in New York and all kind of situations, and you have to deal with some shit. So it really builds you as a person, and I think you as a person and you as a musician, it derives from the same core. It's the same thing. So it definitely changed my personality and my playing.
It's great.
Speaking generally, yeah.
And I mean, could you name like 3 or 4 things that you realized that are very important that you didn't know before moving to New York? Like about
Uh,
drumming or life or music or
yeah. I'm not sure these are things I didn't know, but there are things that I got. Um, I learned that they are important, or I got deeper into them. For example, dynamics.
Mhm.
Um, I guess I was always a dynamic drummer in my nature, but um, when you go to smalls and you see all type of drummers playing too loud or too busy or whatever, like this is some type of situation, or musicians that I played with when I moved, and sometimes I got some kind of comments, or you deal with some stuff that people say to you, or if you play with somebody that you really appreciate and they tell you something, keep in mind that this or that, or keep in mind the dynamics here or there. You just learn. You get some kind of, you get kicked in the ass.
Yeah,
So dynamics is something that I really, really, really got much deeper into. Just like the awareness of me as a drummer in a band. What does it mean? How much power drums have, um, in terms of dynamic of the music, and that's what I'm trying to. That's like one of the main things that I actually uh, put my, how to say, like
you focus.
to focus on, yeah, to be as much as dynamic as I can as a drummer, to bring this type of thing. Um, I actually learned in New York. When I before I moved, and as a kid, I had an image of what a good drummer needs to be. And
Mhm.
a lot of times it relates to technique and being impressive, or you have all kinds of things that are getting stuck in your mind on what you need to be as a drummer, or what people expect you to be as a drummer. And in New York, I just arrived and I've seen the best. Like, I've seen the best technique, I've seen the best this or the best that, or best sound power. So I understood, like, okay, I'm myself and I have my own abilities. I can practice and practice, but I can't have the technique of a certain drummer that I see. Or it's like, you see the best of everything, and it just kind of focuses you on what you want to be, how special you want to be, what's your sound. So it kind of shaped my idea of what I want to be. And of course, we all we keep changing, and we keep going with the music and evolving. But it just showed me that, this idea or ideal of what's the best drummer looks like, it's not it's not real. Like, first of all, I gotta be me, and I've seen just the best from everything, so I can't try to be somebody else. When I was in Israel, I've seen drummers, like, I was obsessed with Harland and Marcus and people like that, and of course I was still influenced while living in New York. But when it's so far away from you and you hear records and you see YouTube videos, it's something else. You're trying to imitate, or you're trying to be influenced and stuff like that. But when you see it live, or you live in a scene and every night you hear a different drummer that is so killing, and it's overwhelming, it first of all, it kicks you in the ass, your ego, or your
Yeah.
whoever you thought you are, you're nothing in a way. And the other thing is, okay, they are so much, they're so, how should I say that? They are so themselves. They're each one of them is so unique, and I gotta find who I am. And that means maybe I wouldn't have the best technique, or I wouldn't have the best. Best is a word that is a bit problematic, but I always want to have everything the best I can, but it's endless. So I gotta just find what I want to be like.
I don't know. I don't think you can practice attitude. Do you think?
Right, and that comes from your neighborhood, your home, who you are, basically. And I guess you can do things to improve it, but it doesn't have to do it necessarily with the practice room, the drums practice room. It has to do with other stuff,
Yes.
I guess. I can't tell you what, but people that grew up, like people like Tony, or people like in the 60s and those years growing up in Harlem, or in tough neighborhoods, you can't compare it to somebody that grew up
Yeah.
really comfortably in a really rich neighborhood and whatever. I mean, some people can really imitate things well, but as a grown-up person, um, listening to Coltrane or Miles or those cats, I hear the pain in their playing, and I don't feel like I've been through anything close to 10% of their pain.
Yeah.
So I can try to bring it from a different place, but still, like, it has, you gotta, what I understand, it's actually a thing that I've been talking about with some friends lately, that we try to understand what makes a drummer or a musician, um, first of all, speak out, in like, cut through into your heart
Mhm.
when you listen to him, and what's a good time feel, like, why some drummers you hear, like, it can be Juliana, which is like super metronomical, or
Yeah.
it can be Questlove or Chris Dave that they're not metronomical, but their time feel is so strong. It can be anybody else. It can be Chris Potter. It can be, I don't know. But what makes a time feel really strong, and I feel like is the more you let the music and the beat and the time into your heart, like those people that feel it so strong, they're just like it gets into them so deep, and you can like a drummer that makes you dance has to dance. It all starts with a drummer, no?
Yeah.
It all starts within you. So in general with music, I guess the more you're open for it, like in a relationship, you know, the more you open your heart for it, the more you can get from it, the more honest it can be. Everything that I'm saying to you has also, it's a two-way street, you know, and I'm really influenced by the energy my bandmates give me. So me opening more emotionally and dynamically and stuff has to do not only with me growing up and understanding things, it has to do with also the bands that I play with that opened up this door for me, especially with Shy. Because I came into Shy's trio already more developed than what I played with Avishai, which I played with Avishai when I was 19 or so for a year,
Mhm.
and I wasn't as um, I wouldn't say ready, but I wasn't as evolved as I am today, and I think Shy really opened this door for me of like letting go things. There is I can't make a mistake. Everything is good. You know, we just express.
Mhm.
No rules. Just like he gave me this feeling of like he really trusts me, and I'm playing with him because of a certain reason, and whatever I choose to do is okay when we play.
Do you have any suggestions of important things that maybe students or younger cats that you come across?
I have a lot of things to say, but um, in different topics. But what I can say, first of all, be a good person. Is maybe a cliche, but it's important because I think that whatever we do, unless you living alone in the jungle, everything you do has to do with and not with other people that you communicate with. So if you if you if you put some efforts into being social and being nice to people and uh, uh, and put some efforts into your relationships and try to just not from a place of an interest, but just like just try to be good to people and to be social, and that makes a lot of a lot of work done, because when you play with people and they also see that you're a nice person and you're professional and the hang is good, it's all the hang, you know. If you're in a hang with some people, they will probably call you for the gig, but it doesn't matter if you're a good drummer or not. Like if you're not a part of the hang, especially in New York, it feels like there are so many options, so many drummers, that people are calling the people that they trust, and that trust has to do with personality as well, with the hang, with the scene. Like when you meet a person and you have a good vibe and also good good musical vibe, then the other person knows, okay, he's a good hang, he's a good musician. Why wouldn't I call him for a gig?
Yeah,
And it's not the same as like if you got to hear somebody but you don't know him, and you have another choice of a friend of yours that you can call for a gig, you'll call your friend.
exactly.
So that's a state of mind that I try to keep in general, like being a part of something. Like it all has to do with the people that surround you. So try to surround yourself in the people you like and the people you want to be around. And also another thing that is really hard, I guess, to um, to internalize or to kind of understand when you're young is play for the music, and not play for yourself, not try not trying to play what you think people would like, but what you think is the best for the music. And that's stuff that is hard to do when you're young, I guess, because we are all in our heads and we all want to impress and we all want to whatever, but this is what I'm trying to dig now. I don't know. The more, I guess, the more you invest in your instrument, the more you get. So that's the relationship, So
That's
uh,
great. Yes.
yeah, but I feel like these days, just like younger generations, has to do a lot with the internet and show and what people think of me and how popular I am, and the social media and stuff. And I hope the essence of music and why we make it wouldn't disappear that way, because I feel like it already changes. Um, and yeah, I just hope it would stay. People would understand the important things of music,
Yes.
about playing, about being a person, and just be social, but not on social media necessarily.
Yes. I mean, there are always, and especially at this, there are always trends, like specific trends, and it's the same thing. I mean, my experience, I can see also trends in a specific scene. Like there are some guys that are hit at this period, but
Hmm.
what stays for a long period of time?
Yeah.
That's another thing. You know, how you can go
E-
to an infinite, like a more like long-term thing. Know how to handle.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's, I feel like the younger generation, they have a problem with investing time in something, because everything is so instant today that I feel it on myself, like that sometimes my concentration level dropped, or I want things instant, but still I have enough roots. I grew up without this world that I can understand. I know I have the mechanism of understanding of, okay, shut up this side, and I know what's real and what's not. But I feel like if you grew up into okay, I gotta be popular. I gotta have followers. I gotta like this is what's important because otherwise people are gonna they're not gonna talk to me because I'm not cool enough. Like that's what happens today. So
Yeah.
also I feel like it also comes out in the music.
Hmm.
People just they miss sometimes on the point of being musicians, and I wonder if it's because they're young and that's natural, or or I wonder if they will understand it one day, or if they won't. So hopefully, we'll see. Yes. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Man, I hope you, I mean, after all of these things, that you are back to New York and everything is fine, and then that there is opportunity that you come to London. You can,
Yeah, I will let you know if that happens, and let me know if you're coming to New York.
yes, that's amazing. Let's keep in touch, okay? That would be great. I mean, I really enjoyed all of this conversation, and
Sure, man.
it's
Yeah,
amazing.
it was great. It was
Okay,
great, man.
okay.
Take care.
You too. Bye bye, Ofri.
Bye.